Everyone's trying to get me on TikTok.
Yeah. I'm another one. I'm like, convert, lapching, convert.
Join us.
Leave them in the ashes.
For an audio description version, courtesy of Scribely, click the link in the description.
Hey y'all, and welcome to The Offbeat. It's me, Lachi, a Black girl going blind, just trying to stay fabulous. I'm here to motivate and educate. And if you're liking what you're hearing, please hit that subscribe button and hell, hit the bell. So back in the day, it used to be all about the long form, high budget 2-hour film. Then it was all about the 30-minute sitcom, then the 10-minute YouTube video. And now it's all about packing content into a 15-second video and making some kind of impact. And so it's time for Lachi to jump on that gravy train. So I'm like, how do I jumpstart my career as a content creator? I know, how about bringing one of the top content creators today onto the show and picking their brain? Yup, ladies and gentlemen, Lucy Edwards is going to be gracing The Offbeat today, and I am so excited because guess what? She's a top content creator and a woman and blind. So let's do this. I got a ton of questions for Lucy Edwards. Like, how does a blind girl do TikTok? How does a blind girl dye her hair that color? Is that your real hair color? Do people really say hello love in England? And lastly, I will beg her to make me a famous TikTok star just like her. But before we jump right in, I want to give a huge thank you to size positive and body positive brand Unhidden. Thank you guys for this amazing t-shirt. All right, Lucy time. Let's get right into it. All right. Here we are with the Miss Lucy Edwards. What? Lucy, what are you doing here?
Hey, Queen. Thank you so much for inviting me. Honestly, like, I'm so happy to be here. So thank you.
I am, first of all, is that your real hair color?
Okay, right. Down low. Can't tell anyone. It's not my real hair color. I've been dyeing it this red for about around 6-7 years. Yeah, just under.
I love it because so are you actually from Britain or are you from somewhere where hair is red?
Yeah, so like I have low lights of this color. I've just enhanced the natural thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, my mother is a quarter Irish.
Nice.
So I guess I'm an 8. So yeah.
I don't know that
I'm
counts,
Irish.
but are you like a beer drinker?
You know what? I'm a G&T type of gal.
Gotcha.
What about you?
When people come over to my apartment, I usually offer them water, coffee, or vodka. And they're
No,
like,
nice.
You don't have like juice? And I'm like, we're adults. Who has juice? But yes, okay, so I'm really glad to have you here. How did you go from like radio announcer to YouTube, TikTok, short form video creation?
Since I became blind, because I just saw no one out there like me,
Right.
I kind of amalgamated the two, and I was like, this new platform TikTok looks quite cool, to be honest. And then from there, I kind of had like a plan before I went on. I was like, Ollie, I'm gonna do this. I wrote headlines for a living, and then I came up with like, how does a blind girl and stuff, and it kind of went from there really, because I know there's loads of blind talkers. There's so many amazing blind creators out there. But
Did you say blind talker like TOKKER? Is that a
yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
you need to be one actually. Can I persuade you on that
God.
area of the web?
Okay, so here's my problem. I am afraid of TikTok for several reasons.
Okay.
One, okay, well, the obvious reason is I don't know how to make it accessible to me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I mean, and I'm happy to work with a team to get it going, but I just hadn't figured out how I could just do something like that on like a weekly or daily basis accessibly. And then the other one was it's so fast, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like jump on a
Totally.
trend, move on, jump on a trend, move on. I'm still sitting
Yeah.
here trying to like make my sandwich. I'm like still trying to put my breakfast together and people are 3 light years away.
What sandwich though? Maybe you could make a TikTok making a sandwich. I love
See,
that.
I love how your brain works.
I totally get you. When you first jump on, it is not really that accessible to screen reader users. I'm going to hold my hands up. And to be honest, I had a meeting. I'm having meetings TikTok all the time to say, look, I'm sending you this video. It's not accessible, and I know they are working on it. But yeah, I can see why it's kind of crazy. in your mind.
I mean, I've had that. Now, I don't know if you know like James Rath. And I've
Love
spoken-
James Rath. He's amazing.
He's really cool. He had some great advice of, just going through and just record a whole bunch of stuff over a weekend and chop it up and get it prepared and just kind of flush them out one at a time. I was like, you mean like I do on Instagram? And he's like, yes. And I was like, yeah, well, everyone's trying to get me on TikTok.
Yeah. I'm another one. I'm like, convert, latching, convert.
Join
No,
us.
honestly. You have to be organised. Takes up so much time,
Yes.
and you just have to be strategic with it in a way.
Let's do something together.
Yeah.
I'll
need
live
to.
sing to you putting on makeup.
Yeah, I could duet your TikTok.
Oh my God, really? Lucy Edwards is out here just saying she's gonna make me famous on TikTok. I'm holding you. Don't play with me. So this candle video that you did, that was like your big first, hi, I'm Lucy Edwards and I'm just gonna be big on TikTok. So whatever. How did that, like, going from pretty much 0 to 10 million in like just on one video?
So I was posting it when I was at my friend's house with Ollie, meeting my friend's family.
Yeah.
And it was literally like going up and up and up. And I was like, Ollie, what's happening to our video?
Right.
What is going on?
Right.
And it was just me lighting a candle. And I was like, I don't know, I guess it was the jeopardy, actually. I don't know what's going on in people's minds. What was rushing through my mind is just, this is insane. This is a platform that needs to be harnessed. And I'm just going to give this my all. You know, this is my moment.
Yeah.
This is my time to shine.
But
So
it wasn't your first video, right? You had several
No.
before that.
I've been doing YouTube since 2014, so 8 years. So, but evidently, like, short form video is my thing.
It's your thing, girl.
It's my thing.
What is your favorite meme that you've jumped on TikTok or YouTube or whatever?
Ooh, my favorite kind of trend.
Yeah.
I think I love, like, tell me you're blind without telling me you're blind, and then like, you know, I got so many stitches from that. I think Learn on TikTok is kind of like a different side to TikTok, but also the app is quite accessible, so it's hard to as well without me sitting down with my access worker. And in the UK we can apply for this pot of funding for an access worker, and that's how I've sort of been accessing TikTok and being, you know, they've just been filling in the gaps for me, really. So
what exactly is an access worker? What do they do?
yeah, so you can basically get an access worker to do whatever you need to do in order to access your job properly. Access workers work with all sorts of people with all sorts of disabilities. So they would read kind of inaccessible PDF documents on my screen. And then kind of now in my social media world, owning my own business, they'd help with that.
Wow, I mean, I know that we have workers that will help you sort of navigate the workplace here in the States, but it's not as hands-on as someone actually coming to help you. Man, US, let's get it together. What's
Get
that
it
about?
together. I want that for you guys.
What are the type of ridiculous questions you get, or what is the most common question you get from folks just who watch your video?
Okay, so the most common question is, how do I do my makeup?
Of course.
I love that question because that's what I'm known for. But you know, you get from, oh my gosh, how do you walk around your house, to how do you go to the loo? So it's like everyone's kind of asks me, like, how do you kind of tolerate that, I guess is the right phrasing. But
Yeah.
I think years ago, when I was not in the right mental state to be able to, like, just going through the throes of my sight loss and feeling quite depressed and anxious about life, and I don't think I would be in a place to be able to take on those types of questions. But now I don't necessarily blame the person that asks me that they're uneducated. A society where we haven't been taught about disability at school. I knew nothing about being disabled until I was a disabled woman. There's not a load of help out there. So, I mean, I'm sure I don't know whether you'll say the same, Lachi. I really do try not to kind of take their questions in a negative way, if you get what I mean. But I don't judge people who do either, because I probably would have done.
Folks just don't know. And it's not necessarily their fault. And I have started hearing people talk about introducing disability studies, at least at the university level. And I'm really excited about that. It's slow going, but hopefully it goes a little faster. Wait, now you keep saying sight loss. Were you not always blind? Were you not born blind? Did you acquire it later? And what form of blindness do you have, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, no worries. I totally agree with you on the disability studies. I think it needs to come faster. Well, that's what me and you were put on this planet to do. Advocate now, as your lovely show would suggest. So sight loss, I think I kind of identify with that phrase. So I lost my eyesight at age 17. You know, I did know what life was like with really good vision, just under adult vision. I have a rare genetic condition called incontinency pigmenti. I still don't really know how to spell it. No, I do really. It's Latin, and it's just really, really rare, actually. I think only about 2,000 people in the whole world. You know, on the Wikipedia page, it's like, may cause sight loss. it definitely caused sight loss in me. It's really rare to go completely blind from it, but yeah.
I know a lot of people go through a rough phase, right? Just it's something completely new, or, you know, you feel that loss. You're very, very positive. You're very energetic now. How did you grow from that initial instance of sight loss?
I mean, if I think back, I was just, you know, I was on really strong antidepressants. I went to law school, but I dropped out of law school because I was having a mental breakdown, and I was trying to find myself again at 17, learning how to relive in a sighted world that wasn't made for me. You know, all my friends went to uni and I retook my A levels, and then when I did go to uni, I didn't feel well enough. You know, there's a lot of trauma there, and it was trying to kind of bat away quite a lot of that. I feel like I started to live again when I said to myself that I need to live a life without limits, and the only limits I have is the ones I place on myself. So,
I mean, at the end of the day, no one really has any limits. The world wasn't really made for any individual, right? So the world is made for this generalized gestalt that doesn't really exist, right? So if you ask anybody what a chair is, you're going to get 7.6 billion different answers, because everybody has a slightly different concept of what a chair is. And I think that's true for just life. Like, the concept of what life is individual, and everyone has limitations that they place on themselves.
Yeah.
And so, do you face any ableism on TikTok?
110%. Like, I often get quite a lot of questions about one of my eyes that has been blind since I was 11. It kind of veers off. You know, I get quite a lot of, you are good for a blind woman. Ableism is everywhere, and people don't necessarily know that you know that it's a non-implement, I like to call them.
Nice.
The more capable that I show the world that I am, then those comments will get less and less for all the little Lucy's out there, you know, that
for all
didn't
the
believe
little
in
Lucy's
themselves.
out there.
Yeah.
I love it. You're so good. So, all right. My whole thing is I'm on my journey to blindness, right? So I am going blind, and that's partly what this series is about. So I haven't felt the, oh crap, I'm going blind feel yet. As someone who had sight and is now blind, what advice do you have for someone who is on that journey?
Yeah, be a sponge and take in all of the different assistive technology and equipment that is on offer to us now. You know, we have iPhones. I felt like my life got extremely rewarding when I embraced tech. Naturally, I was like, oh, you know, I could do that. And I'd be like, often the voice inside my head was like, I'm so silly. I can't just look at the screen anymore. Like, how stupid of me, how ridiculous. I really, even though I didn't believe it, in the morning, I would say to myself, I am lovely, I am capable, I am confident, even though, you know, it's the opposite of what I felt.
I like that you point out affirmations. I don't think enough people realize how powerful they are. When someone tells you you look beautiful, or you're strong, or you're very intelligent, it makes you feel good. And why can't that someone be you? So, all right, the last question that I have, do you have a makeup tip that you can give me? Now, first I'm gonna say I'm Black, so you white, so
I get it, girl. There are so many universal rules to makeup, and I think, to be honest, just using a beauty blender, honey, like, that is a universal thing that all of us should be using to apply our foundation. And you are, honestly, I have never picked up a brush again. When we can get in a shop, it's really good to just give the person who is in the shop a kind of guide to whether you like matte coverage. You totally kind of know the oil production of that, and you can be in control of the things you can be in control of. Like, you are a very autonomous woman, we both are, and yeah, we can't see the color as well, but actually we're going to ask the appropriate questions in order to get the desired result that we want.
We have to do a live makeup session when things open back up, because I think that would be groundbreaking, and I think that you would do a good job, and you would definitely do better than me. If you're gonna make me get on TikTok, I'm gonna make you do my makeup. So that's the exchange. What else I gotta ask you? So just, what's up? How you doing, girl?
I want to know loads about Offbeat. I literally am obsessed with your channel start. Like, my fiance was like, her shoes, you'd love them.
You know, when it's dark outside, like, I have night blindness, so I have to use a cane at night. And One of my favorite things to do is to put on super tall high heels and then walk down the street with my cane and just go do stuff. Because when you have heels on, people can hear you walking up from a mile away. So they already dive out of the way. And then they turn around and they see that this woman in high heels and all dressed up and made up with a cane is just walking through. Literally, people have jumped into the road. I don't know why. It just gives me like this adrenaline rush of, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, that's me and I'm coming.
I get that rush of like dominance. And
Oh, I
so
love that.
why not just feel it and field it? You know what I
It
mean?
is about empowerment, isn't it? Totally.
Yeah. So
I totally agree.
go, yeah. Go, yeah.
Yeah.
Every time I talk to somebody with a British accent, I can't help but do one. So, it's so bad.
Oh my
Like,
god, do it. Please do it.
No. So my manager is from the UK, Ben Price, and so is my agent, which is Keely. They're both from the UK. Every once in a while, I'll speak to them and go like, "Hello, love," and they'll go like, "I'm sorry, what?" I was like, "I'm sorry. Let's start over." Like, hello. But anyway, all right, so this has been so fun. You're so much fun. I love it. I'm gonna do a quick closing, but don't like leave. This is fake.
Okay.
This is for YouTube.
Thanks, sweet.
Okay, so thank you so much, Lucy, for hanging out with me here on the Offbeat. Very honored to have blind talker queen herself on here. Where can folks find you?
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. Folks can find me all over the interwebs, really, at Lucy Edwards Blind on TikTok, at Lucy Edwards on YouTube and Twitter, and at Lucy Edwards Official on Instagram. That's where I'm at.
Nice. Love it. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We're gonna have to do this more. I'm gonna stalk you so you can go ahead and do my makeup. I'm just gonna knock on your door one day. It's gonna be me. So you can do my makeup. But this has been really fun. Thanks for coming through.
Thanks so much, honey. See you later.
All right. What an amazing conversation with Lucy Edwards. Turns out she actually is really fun, super positive, an entrepreneur, and really doing it out here, showing folks what a blind girl can do. Huge thank you to Lucy Edwards. Find her on TikTok, find her on YouTube, link in the description. She is addictive. So thank you everyone for sticking around to the end of this episode. Please hit that subscribe button if you want to keep going down this journey with me. A black girl going blind, just trying to stay fabulous. Lots more to come. So stick around.
I have played a lot of games, I won and lost a lot of wars. I done let too many in, I swung and locked a lot of doors.